and gentlemen, please welcome Mick Foley.
Tonight, it's stars and stripes versus stars and bars. Will the South rise again, or will the North quash the insurrection once and for all? 8 robots, 4 Yankees, and 4 rebels are lined up, ready to pound out a history rewrite by whipping some metal ass. And I can promise you one thing, my friends, this war is anything but civil. Let's join Rebecca in the pits.
War's been declared once more, and I'm going to be down here behind enemy lines. And as our teams are getting tooled up, let me tell you something, they need optimum ground support. I'm going to be here throughout the night as our victors celebrate and the losers lick their wounds. Back up to you, Mick.
So our battle lines are drawn, but we've got something else for each side to think about. Because tonight, our house robots have decided to take sides. Anytime one of our battling bots strays into their zones or find themselves immobilized, here's what they'll have to contend with.
All right, Mick, here's the house robots. And a sturdy 250 pounds dead metal's got a 3,000 RPM circular saw and pneumatic pincers. Really quick around the arena. When the sparks fly, robots usually die. Sean, in at 220 pounds, has a deadly diamond edge axe with a force of over half a ton per square inch. A brawny bulldozer who's never caught napping. Matilda with an interchangeable flywheel turning at over 3,000 RPM, and hydraulic tusk is definitely the matriarch of mayhem. At 250 pounds, Sergeant Bash, the sergeant carries an awesome flamethrower and a devastating set of pincers. You wouldn't want to get this guy hot under the collar. And last but not least, Sir Killalot, the scariest robot on Earth, and a massive 600 pounds with a stomach-churning drill and fearsome hydraulic cutters.
This is how the war is going to go. We start with 4 battles, then a semi, then the final, and then it's Gettysburg, Vicksburg, and Bull Run, or Manassas, depending on whether you're from the North or South, all rolled into one barroom brawl. The South is out for revenge. Are they whistling Dixie? If they are to emerge victorious, they're going to have to destroy. They're going to have to exterminate. They're going to have to blitz their way through one of the most extreme forms of combat ever witnessed. Whew. You reckon they can do it? Then let's get this civil robot war going.
All right, Mick, here's how our 4 eliminator battles line up. First up, we got Spike and Bot Ugly down in the pits with Rebecca.
Let's go meet the troops. All right, to our left, we have the blue Yankee team, Spike.
This is Team Spike, and Spike is ready to take this spike right here. And he's going to take that spike, and he's going to drive it through the southern bot, the ugly bot. Take it over the line.
Yeehaw! Let's go to the Confederates to the right. Over here, how you guys doing?
Good, good. We are Bot Ugly, and we have come. We're not afraid of that porcupine-looking thing. We're going to crush them down with our sharp spikes into nothing. We're going to have little nubs left.
From Germantown, Ohio, Spike.
All right, first up for the northern side, Spike at 211 pounds. It's got 2 electric motors, a pneumatic axe. It's really quick, but if you flip that sucker, he ain't going nowhere.
I'm Jim Rowland, and this is our Buckeye Bots team. I'm Jim, Jimmy, and Jesse. We're here with Spike to fight in the Civil War for the North.
From Tyler, Texas, Bot Ugly.
First up with a rebel yell, Bot Ugly at 220 pounds with a wheelchair motor and pincer jaws. It can go either way, but this thing's not very protected.
I'm Jim, this is David, this is Christy. We're Team Bothead, and this is our robot, Bot Ugly. And we're gonna teach these guys,
Don't mess with Texas.
Roboteers, stand by.
There's Bot Ugly from Tyler, Texas. Jim Moulton, David Simmons, and Christy Simmons in the box. And from Ohio, that's Spike, with Jim Rowland, Jimmy, and Jesse up in the box. And the house box for the first round will be the pushing power of Shunt, with the mother of destruction, Matilda.
3, 2, 1, activate.
They would have been a lot better off if they fought the Civil War this way with robots. And they're off. Spike immediately gets the axe stuck right into the arena floor. And look at those crushers coming in on Bot Ugly. They might make Spike ugly as well. but it don't look like they got a whole lot of power there. Spike just kind of looking on in disbelief. He's not moving at all with that thing stuck. Refbot goes in there to separate him, and Spike is trying to get out of the clutches of Bot Ugly, but he's in the wrong place now. He's backed into the corner patrol zone, and Shunt is going to have a little word with him if he doesn't get out of there soon enough. There's Matilda in the front and Shunt in the back. It could be all over for this lot. And now it looks like Spike has turned it around, and he's got out of the clutches of Bot Ugly, but oh no, Spike into Matilda. He knows that was a wrong move. Let's look at that again. Look at Matilda's flywheel go straight into Bot Ugly. Something flew off there. I hope it wasn't important for Bot Ugly, because they might need it for the rest of the round. Look at that Spike going to Bot Ugly now. That hammer, they better get out of that corner patrol zone, because Shunt is going to do some damage, and damage he does. Look at that with that axe right into the side of Spike. Spike is stuck into Bot Ugly. They better get out of that corner, that's all I know. And look at that Shunt right down into Spike's tire. Deflated him, demoralized him, and look what's going on. The crowd knows it. Everybody else knows it, but Bot Ugly seems oblivious. And he's probably oblivious to that smoke coming out, which means the motors could be burned, which could be all over. Rampbot's having a closer look just to make sure it's not over yet. There's Matilda and Spike pushing and helping the old Bot Ugly into the hole. And into the hole he goes, and the crowd loves it.
Spike having its way with Bot Ugly. Let's take a look at the team of Spike. I've got to admit, for a while there, it looked like the General Lee's army was going to have its way, but the Army of the Potomac just came fighting back, firing back. What you did to Bot Ugly made Sherman's march to the sea look like a walk in the park.
I wanted to beat him back to Texas and send him to the South.
Let's hear it for Spike.
After our first Eliminator battle, Bot Ugly gets the ugly stick. Spike goes through. Next up, Falcon and the $6 million mouse.
The North draws first blood, but who will have the last laugh? There's going to be bodies strewn across the battlefield when two more bots square off. I look forward to it. You should too. Only on Robot Wars Extreme Warrior. We're back with Robot Wars' very own Civil War. The battle lines have been drawn, and now the South is going to be fired up to get even. It's about pride, it's about honor, but mostly it's about kicking the enemy's tin-can butt straight into the scrap heap of history. Forget the musket, toss out the fife and drum. Today it's a buzzsaw, flamethrower, and razor claws that will tear you to shreds. Let's see who's up next.
Hey, Mick, you better clear that throat next time. Next up, we've got Falcon and the $6 million mouse down in the pits with beautiful Rebecca.
To our left are the Yankees soaring high Falcons.
Yep, we're from the North, and we're the Falcons, and we already know how the Civil War turned out. What we're going to do is open this can of whip-ass on our mouse over there and have them for breakfast.
Watch out. And to our right, we have our Confederates, the $6 million mice.
I've always heard that Falcons feed on mice, but tonight we're eating Falcon pie.
From North Oaks, Minnesota, Falcon.
Here we are for Eliminator number 2. Falcon out of Faribault, Minnesota. It's got that mean lift and spike and interchangeable weapons, but it's a bit slow.
From Linwood, North Carolina, the $6 million mouse.
And for the comedy entrant of this round, the $6 million mouse out of Linwood, North Carolina, 220 pounds. It's got a lawnmower blade on it. It doesn't look too fierce. We'll see.
Roboteers, stand by.
There's Falcon for the North, and the Birds of Prey boys, Dave Temple, Rand Willick, and Mark Willick. There's the $6 million mouse for the South, with Chris Hanold, Greg Hanold, and Pops, Richard Hanold. And the Housebots, again, Shunt with that beastie pushing power. And alongside him will be Matilda. We'll see if she can keep her temper in check this time.
3, 2, 1, activate.
And there they go. Mouse off to a roaring start with that spinning blade. Oh, trying to get a little bit of damage on Falcon. Falcon's got the lifting arm up. The Falcon boys are looking intent on destruction. $6 million Mouse with that spinning blade seems to be getting in there, but not doing a whole lot of damage with it. The Falcon's just got the arm lifted up, but he's not really doing anything with it. I wonder if it's stuck or something. Well, there's a bit of a deadlock there. They're all in a headlock, and Mouse backs the Falcon up over the flames. The crowd saw some of that. Saw a little potential for some disaster. Oh, the Mouse up on the side. Falcon's getting right underneath the $6 million Mouse. Falcon is trying to do its dirty work right now, saying to the Mouse, "You got a real pretty mouse." Look at that. Perfect wedge design there, just lifting the Mouse up into the stratosphere. And RefBot comes in to break it up a little bit. Mouse goes away to see another day. Falcon spinning around, and it's getting chased in hot pursuit by the $6 million Mouse. But uh-oh, it's the pit. The crowd is yelling pit. Everybody knows somebody's going down. Falcon's backing up. That arm hasn't been any use to him all the way through this round. The $6 million Mouse has got the Falcon backed up against the rails. And now backed up against Shunt in the corner patrol zone. Shunt down with the axe, dangerously close to the pit. Shunt trying to pick Falcon up on the side, but Falcon gets away. Great tactics by the Mouse to back Falcon right into that corner patrol zone and into the capable hands of Shunt. As the clock ticks down, this one's gonna go to the wire, and it'll probably be up to the judges. No clear winner.
Well, all right, thank you. North versus South all over again. And there was no clear-cut winner, so what we're going to do is we're going to leave the decision in the hands of the judges, and while the judges decide, we're going to take a look at some more devastating robotic action.
And there's our illustrious panel of judges. On the left, we've got Martin Smith. He's a lecturer in cybernetics and electronic engineering. In the middle, we've got Professor Noel Sharkey from Stanford and Yale. He's a computer science whiz. And Matt Irvin, a motion picture special effects designer. The judges will use 4 different criteria to make their decisions. They'll be basing everything on style, control, damage, and aggression. It was a pretty close one all the way through this battle, but I think my money's gonna go on the Mouse. Let's see what the judges think.
By the slimmest of margins, the winner, representing the South, the Confederacy, the $6 million Mouse. Gentlemen, that was one of the hardest fought, gutsiest victories I've ever seen. In a way, it was kind of like you guys were outgunned, but like Pickett's charge, showing a lot of guts, pride, intestinal fortitude, you managed to overcome.
Well, my son here's the main man, and he is the brains of the outfit. He is the greatest.
Is that indeed true? Are you the greatest?
Of course, of course.
Well, you weren't looking too great when that Mouse's blade stopped rotating. It looked to me like you were going to take the fall, almost like Lee did at Antietam. How do you feel about that?
We were just playing possum. We weren't worried about it too much.
Let's hear it for the $6 million Mouse.
Well, I take it all back. I said they were the comedy entrant, but they're the ones left laughing. $6 million Mouse goes through. Next up, Tiger Cat and Manta.
Another bot through to the semifinals of our Civil War Carnage Spectacular here on Robot Wars Extreme Warriors. And there's a whole lot more to come. It's North versus South. History's never been this brutal. Welcome back to Robot Wars Extreme Warriors. We're rewriting history on the fly right here in this very arena. The fighters of the future are avenging the battles of the past as 4 bots from the north and 4 from the south are scrapping, slugging, and struggling for survival. Now let's meet 2 more robots who are ready to go right here on our show.
Well, there it is so far. Union 1, Confederates 1. Let's see whether Tiger Cat or Manta can tip the scales.
From Stephen City, Virginia, Manta.
Manta in at 185 pounds has got a spinning steel blade. It's really quick and powerful, but if he flips, he's history.
I'm Jeff Sesnick.
I'm Billy.
Chris.
This is Team Manta. This is our robot Manta. We're from Virginia, and we're here to kick some ass.
Manta's coming your way.
From Shirley, New York, Tiger Cat.
Them's fighting words from the Manta boys. And well, they're going to face Tiger Cat at 220 pounds. 2 electric motors, a pneumatic axe. It's quick, it's powerful, it's flammable.
Dave and Dave from New York, United States, and we're here to introduce Tiger Cat, the robot that is going to take over the world and all the house robots with our axe. We want the world to know.
Are you scared yet?
Roboteers, stand by.
There's Tiger Cat for the North with Dave and David Sandell. There's Manta for the South with Jeff Sesnick, Billy Bowden, and Chris Tyson. And for the first appearance tonight, Sergeant Bash will be representing the Housebots alongside his bulldozing, bruising buddy, Shunt.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
And they're off as RefBot gets out of the way. Tiger Cat goes steaming in there, but Manta goes right underneath Tiger Cat. Shreds a bit of skin off there. Oh, Tiger Cat's falling apart here. This isn't going to look too good. Oh, it's a breakaway robot. Let's look at that again. He tore the face right off the tiger. Well, the tiger's faceless now, and I don't know now. It's getting worse. The tiger's in flames now. It's a flaming, faceless tiger. Manta, one cool customer with that little wheel on the front, seems to have done most of the damage. Well, the tiger's just kind of running around looking like, please end this for me. Oh, now the axe comes out. Well, a little too late there as Shunt comes in with an axe of his own. Doesn't look good for the North in this round. Boy, I'll tell you, that Tiger Cat's looking mighty crispy by now as RefBot puts out the flames. Tiger Cat started out looking really beautiful and just fell apart from the beginning. Just decimated as RefBot counts down. The 10 count goes as Sergeant Bash and Shunt move in for the kill. As if that thing wasn't dead already. Oh, Tiger Cat. Whoa. And the audience knows it's time for a little kitty air time. Ah! And he gets some air. Tiger Cat up on its side, up on its back. Manta having a couple more digs, but it's all over for these guys. Look at that. Well, he looked solid enough, but boy, he just went to pieces. Well, the audience knows it's time for the pit. And the pit it is. Those guys are history. And they seem a little bit happy to be out of there as well.
The Tiger Cat went down in a blaze, but unfortunately for them, it was not a blaze of glory. It was a blaze of humiliation and crushing defeat. But on the other hand, we have some clear-cut winners representing the Confederates, the team of Manta. May I say, with the fire and the agony and the screaming, it looked to me like the Battle of the Wilderness all over again. How do you feel about that?
It was more like a barbecue.
Great. We loved it.
May I say that you, my friend, look like a young Stonewall Jackson. Did you feel that way, standing up to the power of the Yankees who had crushed you 150 years ago?
Felt great.
Let's give it up for Manta.
Well, there it is. The Flamin' Tiger Cat is history. Manta through. Next up, Sobek and the Revolutionist with Rebecca down to the pitch.
Let's meet the troops. To our left, we have Team Sobek.
Yeah, we plan on doing a lot of damage to these guys.
You're gonna be a tough Yankee.
Yeah, Yankee Ingenuity won the first time. We hope to do it again.
All righty, good luck to you. And to our right over here, we have our Confederates.
Hey, how you doing?
You look like you should be singing Yankee Doodle Dandy, though.
Well, we're taking over the U.S. again. It's a whole new revolution.
Okay, so tell me about the revolution.
Well, the revolution plans to shred those nice, tasty rubber tires.
from Massachusetts, Sobek.
Here's how it looks for the final round. For the North, Sobek at 216 pounds with a pneumatic jaw, but them wheels are a little bit exposed. And on their team is Glenn Sears and Aaron Turcotte right there in the booth.
From Ormond Beach, Florida, the Revolutionist.
And for the North, the Revolutionist at 207 pounds with cutting teeth, and it's nearly impossible to grab a hold of. These guys are going to try to spin to win. And the Yankee Doodle Dandy boys himself, Brian Nave and Michael Nave. And the housebots in this round will be Sergeant Bash alongside the ever-present Shunt.
Three, two, one. Activate.
And they're off. The Revolutionist off to a rolling start. Boom! Right into Sobek's front sacrificial tire. That thing flies off. I don't think it was doing any good on that robot, but I don't think it was doing any good for their wind tunnel test either. Look at that. Just ripped the front wheel right off of that thing. Sobek in retreat mode. The Revolutionist going back to have a good run at it. Sobek with the jaws wide open. Can they get inside the Revolutionist, though? It doesn't look like it. It looks like those jaws aren't going to do any good. That Revolutionist is going too fast for Sobek to do any damage whatsoever. But now the Revolutionist is stopped, which is definitely going to give Sobek a chance to get in there with those jaws. The jaws don't seem to be opening, and Sobek is not taking advantage of that moment. That would have been the big moment because the Revolutionist ceases to be a revolver. It's not rolling much, it's rolling forward, but the spin mode seems to be disabled. The Revolutionist gets out of the way as Sergeant Bash comes from nowhere. What's he doing there? Sobek was nowhere near a corner patrol zone, so I bet your ref bot's gonna have something to say, and he does. He gets Sergeant Bash out of there. Sobek, with that four-wheel drive system's got its sidebars up now, like it's some kind of menacing factor. I don't think it's going to be doing much for the Revolutionist, though. The Revolutionist seems to be rolling around, but definitely... Oh! Sergeant Bash out of his zone again. I don't know what he's up to. He's been nowhere near a corner zone, Sobek. And Sergeant Bash has just been going in there. Well, he gets the warning from RefBot for insubordination as the clock ticks down. This one's going to go to the judges.
That wasn't very good, was it? Obviously, we're going to go to a judge's decision. That is, if the judges were able to stay awake during that bout, because they've got a very important decision to make. While they make that important decision, we're going to look at some highlights, if indeed there were any. Let's take a look.
Oh, that's pretty harsh. Okay, maybe there wasn't the most action in the world, but Sobek looked like he was trying really hard. The Revolutionist had a great design there, pretty much impenetrable, and Sergeant Bash gave him probably more assistance than he needed.
All right, they're telling us we have a result. It was close, but the winner, representing the North, the team of Sobek. Come on out here, Sobek. I gotta tell you, it kind of reminded me of the siege at Petersburg because, let's face it, nothing really happened out there. Was that your game plan, to try to lull them into a sense of false security?
Oh, of course. Once I eliminated their spinner weapon, that was the main thing, and then I was just trying to push them around, and we pushed them around.
The spinning weapon did some damage right off the bat, but once it was nullified, it basically looked like a big birthday cake out there. Let's hear it for the team of Sobek.
Well, Sobek slide through by the skin of their robot, which evens it up to 2 apiece.
Regional pride is on the line. Who's talking smack and who's about to get smacked? In the semifinals, right after this. It's the South taking on the North tonight in our robot rematch of the Civil War. And so far, it's been anything but civil. For the Roboteers, it's about nothing less than patriotism. If you're a Roboteer from the South right now, the last thing you want is to get your ass kicked in front of the whole world by some damn Yankee. Like me, Long Island, New York. Yeah, we've got 4 bots left, and they're all out for death. Will the stars and bars fly over the arena, or will Old Glory reign supreme? Let's crank up the volume one more notch. I'm gonna get a throat lozenge. Can you deal with that?
Here's how it lines up for the Civil War semifinals. Sobek versus the $6 million Mouse. But first up, Spike and Manta in the pits with Rebecca.
Team Spike, your weapon's out. What's your strategy against Team Manta? They're pretty tough.
Yeah, they're tough, but the spikes on the front and the spikes on the back are ready to drive him back to the north.
I know, but he kind of looks like an armadillo. I hope they don't want armadillo pie. They like that down south.
Yeah, well, Spike doesn't like water either, so he's going to take it out on Mantis.
All right, good luck, Yankee boy. All right, let's march over to our Confederate troops over here, the first semifinals of the Civil War. Team Manta, what is your strategy against the little Spike?
Well, we don't know what we're going to do yet, but we have a spike for the spike.
We don't know what the hell that thing is, but Manta is going to make some parts.
Roboteers, stand by.
Manta looked impressive before. There's the driver, Jeff Sesnick, with Billy Bowden and Chris Tyson. And Spike with Jim Rowland and daughter Jessie. And for the first appearance tonight for the House Robots, we've got Dead Metal alongside his big industrial strength buddy, Sir Kill-A-Lot. Boy, I'm glad I'm not in the arena tonight.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Spike off to a rolling start. Manta lining up that mean wheel, trying to get any kind of damage into the side of Spike. Spike doing a little spin around, gets broadsided by Manta. Manta's gonna try to run away and get another run at it. I don't know what Spike's doing over there by the flames, but oh! Another head-on collision by the Manta, who's just taken fearless runs right into the side and front of Spike. Spike spinning around, trying to get out of the way. But Manta is just too fast, too powerful. That wheel doesn't seem to be penetrating Spike, but it certainly is pushing him back. The audience is going nuts on this one. Manta going back to take another run at Spike. Spike backs out of harm's way, but Manta, boom, steams in there again. Spike definitely would have lost some mobility here, which means if he's done for 10 seconds, the house bots could come and have their way. Spike's got enough to back around and get a little front action, but Manta's right behind him, trying to push him into the trigger. I think it could be in the bag here for Manta because Spike doesn't seem to be moving at all, and the house bots know it. They can smell hydraulic fluid. Look at the crushing power of Sir Kill-A-Lot, just dragging Spike's lifeless carcass up into the air. The audience is begging for some pit action. Sir Kill-A-Lot spinning around, let's go with a fearsome throw. Spike is just mashed and mangled, sitting at the edge of the pit, and Manta gets the honors.
We have got our first finalist in Robot Wars Extreme Warriors Civil War. Ladies and gentlemen, no doubt about that one. A clear-cut, and may I say, a clear-cut victory by Team Manta. Let's speak to the gentleman right now. May I say, I refer to you as being like a young, vicious Stonewall Jackson, but you, my friend, are like a young Robert E. Lee, because beneath that veneer, there is a person deep down inside there who likes the guts, who likes the confrontation, who likes the violence. Tell me about that side of yourself.
Yeah, well, Spike didn't put up much of a fight, but he's in the pit and we're happy.
Congratulations, and let's give it up for Team Manta.
Here's how it looks after the first semi. Spike gets skewered. Manta goes through. Next up, Sobek and the $6 million Mouse.
Our first finalist. They're going to be celebrating down south. 2 robots remain, but there's only one spot in the finals. Who will win our robot civil war? We're about to find out right here, right after this. Even while wearing a hot woolen uniform in the oppressive July heat of the Gettysburg battlefields, Robert E. Lee wasn't sweating as much as I am right now. We started tonight with 8 bots, 4 Confederates, 4 Unionists. They've clashed, they've battled, they've fought to the finish. Civil War, hell, it's been World War III. It's been the most brutal, merciless contest we've ever seen. They've been fighting for pride, and now we have our first finalist who will face off across the Mason-Dixon line. Let's find out.
Well, we got 1 finalist through and 2 left to choose from, with Rebecca down with the Mouse Boys in the pits.
What's your strategy against Sobek?
We're going to go out hard and fast, give him a little loving with the blade here.
Did you fix up the blade there?
Yeah, it's fixed. We had a big crack in there. We welded it up. It's nice and strong now. We're going to rip them in half.
All right, second semifinal of the Civil War. We have our team Sobek here. Yankee boys, tell me about your weapon against $6 Million Mouse.
We have a nice little gripper jaw that we hope to be able to grab onto them and do a little bit of damage with it.
All right, Aaron and Karen, what do you guys think? Think you can handle this?
One thing we want everyone to remember.
Roboteers, stand by.
And there's Sobek with team members Glenn Sears, Karen Gleimer, and Aaron Turcotte. And the $6 Million Mouse with Chris Hanold, Greg Hanold, and Richard Hanold. And returning for the second semifinal to keep them straight, the gruesome twosome of Dead Metal and Sir Kill-A-Lot.
Three, 2, 1, activate.
There's the green light from RefBot, which means it's time for some metal matching. The $6 Million Mouse goes in there to try to mow some lawn on Sobek. Sobek with those big jaws just clenched tight. They better get them open if they want to do any damage in this round. The $6 Million Mouse looked like it should get airborne with that rotor blade. Maybe he'd be better off mowing lawns because he's not doing too much damage on Sobek. Sobek and the Mouse just seem to keep missing each other, but wait a minute, whose wheel was that? Somebody's coming apart in there. But oh, the Mouse knocks the self-righting bar off of Sobek. That could be a little bit of disaster for the Sobek boys if they get flipped upside down. Fortunately, the Mouse isn't designed for any serious flipping, but that rotor blade's doing enough damage as it is. The $6 Million Mouse winding up for the return again. Sobek trying to get into the back of the Mouse, and the Mouse coming back after Sobek. Well, they both look like they're tired and beat down to the grisound. $6 Million Mouse going back. Seems as if he's going to take another running charge. That charging Mouse just seems to hold back. But wait a minute. A wheel comes up for Sobek. Sobek's 4-wheel drive system's quickly reduced to a 3-wheel drive. That may be all right for him. He may still have a little bit of power left in him to go and do some damage. But, oh, the Mouse has tore pieces left and right off of Sobek. And here comes Dead Metal. What's he doing there? He's definitely not immobilized, Sobek, so there's no reason, and RefBot's giving him a warning. RefBot's saying, hey, get back into your corner, you freak. I wouldn't call him a freak, but at least not to his face. Anyway, but RefBot's a braver bot than me. And all the Sobek team can do is watch as RefBot counts down the standing 10 count. Hanging next to the barbecue pit is Sobek, looking dull and listless. Not a living, moving part within that robot as Dead Metal comes in with the grinding wheel, cutting through their wheel like butter. Sobek's just got nothing left as Kill-A-Lot has him with the pincers. Kill-A-Lot's lifting him up. The audience is saying, pit, give us a pit, baby. Kill-A-Lot doing a little do-si-do, a little spinning front wheelie off of Kill-A-Lot as it's just firmly got Sobek in its clenches. Bringing him over to the pit. Sobek is so long. See ya.
So it's come down to this. In the finals of the first ever Robot Wars Extreme Warriors Civil War Championship, we've got 2 Southern teams. Manta will be taking on the winner of our last semifinal match. the team of the $1 Million Mouse. Come on out, gentlemen. I got to tell you, from the Southern point of view, the war was often known as the War of Northern Aggression, but today it was all Southern aggression everywhere. Tell me a little bit about that.
We did it. We had to do it. We did it. We whipped their butts.
They whipped their butts. Can you add anything to that?
No, I think that says it all. They did real well. They were real strong, but we just took them.
It's an all-Southern final. Who will come out ahead?
I guess it's going to be brother against brother, but we're going to do our best to take them out.
Brother against brother, brother. Oh, brother.
Well, with a total surprise, it's an all-Confederate final to decide who's going to be General Robot E. Lee.
The South has vanquished Sherman's ghost, evening their record against the Feds at 1 win apiece. But the action's not stopping here. Who is the ultimate soldier? Stay tuned and find out. Tonight, history has judged the robots, and it's been brutal, merciless, and cold. And now that's exactly what 6 robots are. They're history. The Northern robots, the Southern robots, they've both booted their share of booty right here tonight on our Civil War Mayhem Extravaganza. And now we have just 2 survivors remaining, both from the South. It's the kings of the Confederates waiting to go head-to-head, waiting to battle for death, destruction, annihilation, or glory. Are you ready for this? And let's start whistling Dixie and let the battle commence.
Well, here it is, the final, the $6 Million Mouse against Manta.
Who's it going to be? We have the $6 Million Mouse over here. What's it going to be against Manta over here? Are you going to be man or mouse?
We're definitely a few men here. We're going to go in, do our best. They're a really tough opponent. We've seen them in action. We're not scared. We're just going to go in and have some fun.
Whack those whiskers around.
That's right.
All right,
maybe cause some sparks.
Okay. Team Manta with your deep sea equipment here. Yeah. You ready to take on these little old mice?
Yeah. May the best man win.
That's it?
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty civil.
That's pretty civil. Yeah, we're civil. Yeah, we're both from the South.
All right, gentlemen, maybe you should shake then if you're so civil before going to combat.
Roboteers, stand by.
Well, there's the cutting power of the $6 Million Mouse with Chris Hanold, Greg Hanold, and Richard Hanold, and Manta with Jeff Sesnick, Billy Bowden, and Chris Tyson. And just to remind him who's going to be the boss, Sir Kill-A-Lot is going to be one of the house bots alongside his buddy, the searing-bladed Dead Metal.
3, 2, 1, activate.
And they're off. Manta and the mouse go head up right in front of each other. The mouse loses his little nose. And Manta puts the mouse up on its side. It's Monterey jacked up cheese in that mouse trap. Let's look at that retrapping. Manta right there underneath, putting the mouse up on its side. It doesn't look like the mouse can do anything about it either. It's got great wheels, it's got a great blade, but it can't get itself off its side. If it was upside down, it could have got away with it. But Manta pushes them into the ever-capable hands of Sir Kill-A-Lot in that corner patrol zone, exactly where the mouse doesn't want to be. The mouse is going to be history, it looks like. Sir Kill-A-Lot bringing the mouse around. Richard Hanold just shaking his head, knowing there's nothing he can do as the siren goes off, which means the pit's gonna open, but first, it's a bit of mouse kebab. Oh yeah, he burned up real good. Crispy. I'd like mine medium rare, please. Yeah, ain't nothing Richard can do about it either. Oh, it looks like it's time for some Flip City here. The first flying mouse in Robot Wars history. How many flips? 1, 2, over. He got back on his wheels. That means he's free. He's got a little bit of lease of life there. The mouse comes back, flying. but back on his wheels again, which means it's time for a little more damage. Well, he wasn't immobilized. He just got pushed into the corner patrol zone, which is where he is now. And, oh, right by him, dead metal. Manta comes crashing through. Look at the damage. It's time for another lawnmower for that mouse, because he's been mashed, he's been mutilated, he's been mangled, and he's looking precariously close to the pit. Manta can't quite get him in there, though. Oh, time for a little mouse against the grindstone. Not any damage there from the grinders, but look at the damage on the mouse. Unbelievable. His self-correcting mechanism, its history, his blade is bent. Look at that. Absolute carnage. Even some of his mouse skin is coming off. Well, that's not a surprise. Manta's still at it. Manta trying to do anything he can do to immobilize the mouse. Well, they spent their $6 million wisely, I think, on this mouse, because he's still going. Manta coming around the back. Oh, goodbye. Mouse back in the hole. What an amazing battle between these two. It was non-stop till the very end, but there can be only one winner, and that winner is Manta.
Well, we've got ourselves a winner of the Civil War, Rebecca, but it didn't actually come down to North versus South, a reenactment of the War of Northern Aggression. Came down to South versus South, which pretty much resembled a couple of drunken rednecks in a good bar brawl. But we're going to look at both teams here. I gotta say, $6 million mouse, I guess Rebecca and I saw things differently. I thought you guys showed an awful lot of heart out there. She said you looked like a bunch of frightened field mice.
There's no way, man. We're still running. We took a big beating, but we drove off the stage.
Just too much Manta for the $6 million mouse.
Yeah, it was like shooting pool out there.
Shooting pool out there? Man, they're dissing you guys. This guy talks tough, and unfortunately for you, he can back it up with the Manta. Anything you'd like to add to General Lee's very strong words?
Looked like a hole-in-one to me.
My goodness, things are getting ugly, and I'm not even the ugliest part of the whole scene. Rebecca, we've had a tremendous time here, and let's hand the trophy to the Civil War Challenge.
I have to agree. I'd say that these are true soldiers of the South. Congratulations, boys.
Thank you very much.
Let's hear it from Manta, the winner of our Robot Wars Extreme Warriors Civil War Challenge.